Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Beer Garden again. Starting from this episode, we will be previewing the treble races, which will be the last three races in the cat instead of the triple trio. So this time we will be talking about the Shatin race card on Sunday, race 8, race 9, and race 10. But before that, we are going to see the first group race for the season in Hong Kong on Sunday. That will be the Group 3 over 1400 meters. There is a feature horse, I think, that will be California Spangle. I guess that although the price now is not out yet, I believe he should be the short price favorite. So do you think that California Spangle can win again? Joshua, what do you think about this horse?
Yeah, I think it's his for the taking. I don't. I'd done the form early for this race. I did a feature race preview for my the site that I work for, backerwinner.com.au, and yeah, I don't see anything beating him, to be honest. Zach has the option of sitting outside, but he's got the superior speed to the rest early doors, and it's a very, very thin group race, and I don't see anything beating him. I think Cheerful Days can run a good race, but I don't think he's up to the rating of California Spangle.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to California Spangle. How about you? What do you think about him, Joe? Do you think he is going to win again?
Yeah, he looks really tough. He's going to be the speed of the race, I think. And yeah, I think also I agree with Josh. I think Cheerful Days could run a big race as well. Was big on him before, but I think this is going to be a lot tougher. Well, he is going to carry a little bit more weight, but I don't think that's going to matter. But Duke Y does have a race under his belt this season so far, so probably a prep to this race. But yeah, California Spangle is going to be really tough to beat, I think.
You could quinella those three. I reckon Duke Y, Cheerful Days, and California Spangle.
Yeah, I also think so. How about you, Steve? What do you think California Spangle is should be the one of the leader in the small field? Do you think that he can keep till the end and win the Group 3?
I think he probably can. I don't know how impressive he will be on his first run. I don't think he'll romp home by 6 or 7 lengths, but I think he'll win. I always try and look for some shock or some alternative scenario, but it's if he comes back in the kind of form that we saw of last season, he looks like he'll win. I think Duke Y has a kind of a nice profile. Possibly he took in the Chief Executives Cup, the same routes as he took last season, and I really liked his run last time. I thought he stayed on really nicely into third, and I think he could be the main danger. I don't know. I think Cheerful Days might, I don't know, maybe need the run. I think California Spangle followed by Duke Y, and that's what I think. I'm not sure about the other four, and obviously Cheerful Days is a nice horse, but I just see it. But I think California Spangle maybe a couple of lengths. Duke Y, habitual slow starter, making ground late on, and they'll be first and second. But who knows? We'll find out soon.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. Yes, California Spangle jumped from gates 5 and ridden by Zach Purton. I believe he is going to lead. And then the pace in this race will not be that fast, so it will be quite favorable for him. And yes, Duke Y just had a good warm-up one earlier in this season. He should be a back marker, so let's see whether he can chase well. So let's move on to talk about the treble races. The first race we are going to talk that will be race 8. It is a class 3 over a mile. Joshua, what do you think in race 8?
Yeah, I found this quite a tough one to go through. There's not so much from a winning perspective. I think there's only a small handful that can actually win this race. Look, the pace looks very challenging. You've got Encountered kicking up from the inside, Ode to Joy and Boom Alliance probably kicking up from the center. So, look, I landed with Looking Cool, ridden by Zach Purton. His form at the end of last season wasn't too bad. He is a one who prefers the mile. his run behind Super Oasis 2 back when 1.1 lengths in fourth was quite good. He actually ran the quickest final 200 meters of that race and the third quickest final 400. So he has to contend with a horror draw here, but you've got the right man on its back to figure that one out. Outside of that, like Powerful Wings and Secret Vision are probably the other two that I find hard to beat in this race. As I said, I think it's only a small handful that can win. I've landed with Looking Cool on the back of a trial, but I've got no confidence whatsoever in this race.
Yeah, quite wide open in race 8. I think, yes, Looking Cool, he's quite a lightly raced 5-year-old. He's also a course and distance winner in May. And Joe, what do you think? Who do you like in race 8?
Race number 8, I actually landed on Encountered. Really like the pedigree because he's out of Churchill, and he just had a Group 1 winner. I think Steve would know out of Churchill that was racing in France. I think his name was Ademi or something like that. But he was, yeah, he won at in the penultimate race at a really big odds, $201. Then he ran in really bold with barrier 12 the last race earlier this season, so he does have a race under his belt. He's a 3-year-old and he's carrying a lot of weight. That's the main concern with him. But the pedigree, and I think that with also those 3-year-olds out of Churchill have been running really good, especially having a Group 1 winner in France. I think that form is with Encountered could settle around midfield and then try to catch him at the end. But as a 3-year-old against the older horses, I'm willing to take a chance with him. So number 4, Encountered for me.
Yes, I think that most of our audience will remember that last season he Encountered just caused a huge upset to all of us, and it is good to see him returning back to this season. And he just had a good one over 1400 on the season opener, and this time stepping up to a mile should be a more suitable distance for him. And Steve, who do you like in race 8?
I went for number 2, Secret Vision. Danny Shum trained Harry Bentley on board. As Joshua says, it's probably one of the few horses in here that I think you can really give a chance to. There's a few that I think you can hopefully safely discount, but Secret Vision, lightly raced, a shock winner at Gowran Park on his debut in Ireland, his native Ireland, and you acclimatised quite quickly to the Hong Kong life. 5 runs, very quickly got into his stride with 2/3 on his second and third starts, and then a nice win, 3/4 of a length, beating Powerful Wings. And yeah, that was over course and distance, and then over £6 higher mark, he was 5.5 lengths behind Encountered. So I think he had a nice trial behind Chanching Prince recently. Harry Bentley on board. As Joe says, Encountered, crazy price, 199 or whatever it was to one. Amazing price. And I'm not going to say I wish I'd kind of mentioned him a little bit more, because on his the penultimate run before that, he had 2 runs before he was 8th to, I think it was Keefe, and there was some slight it was slightly eye-catching, and then he was 12th or 13 Encountered on yielding to soft ground. So if you just wipe the slate clean and forget that race, he was entitled to come on a little bit more for that run behind Keefe, and he did. And how, with a 200-1. I just wish I'd mentioned a little bit more about him. But yes, for me, Secret Vision, he's a nice horse. He's lightly raced. He'll have a career high mark. But I think a lot of times you can see a horse who wins, maybe like we have here, a mark of 66. He then goes up £6. They can't quite handle the £6 rise, but then they can on their next start. And as I say, he looked good in the recent trial. So for me, off a good barrier, it's Secret Vision for me.
Yeah, right. A career high mark for number 2, Secret Vision, but I believe that he's still unexposed. And then this former Ireland galloper just settling really well in Hong Kong, and definitely Harry Bentley knows the horse very well. And my selection, I will have my best bet in race 8. That will be number 3, Powerful Wings. It is good to hear that just Joshua and also Steve just mentioned about this horse. And I believe that the wide draw should not be a concern for him, because because he used to be a back marker. And we see that at the end of last season, after putting the blinkers on, he is just a different horse. He can show a really great turn of foot in the home straight. And this time he will be ridden by Sylvester de Souza. I think he is a very suitable jockey for this kind of lazy horse. So I hope to see that powerful wings with Sylvester de Souza on board. He can show a great turn of foot in the home straight and then break the maiden in Hong Kong. So my best bet here, that will be number 3, powerful wings. So to recap the first leg of the treble, race 8, Joshua selects number 9, looking good, and Joe goes for number 4, encounter. Steve's selections will be number 2, secret vision, and I have my best bet, that will be number 3, powerful wings. And then the second leg of the treble will be race 9. It is another class 3 over 1400 meters. Joshua, who do you like in race 9?
Yeah, this was a strange old one. When I was doing the form for this, they've taken APAL's previous runs and used it as a part of the speed map. So, but since coming to Hong Kong, he really hasn't shown any of the barrier pace that he showed when he was in Australia with Team Hawks. So I sort of had to work on a different map that he was going to sit further back. So we've only got Golden Link really kicking up from the inside, and then Dynamic Spirit and Cha-Ching Prince kicking up from the outside. I landed with Two Shell here, ridden by Zach Purton for John Size. His preparation last season, he ended it really, really well. He had a 5th at the Valley behind Above All. He ran some quick splits there before coming out and winning 2 races on the trot at Sha Tin, beating home horses like Voyage Star, Wide Blue Yonder, Rock, Paper, Scissors. He then ran 3rd to Leading Fortune and Mr. Ascendancy on that wet track. Mr. Ascendancy's come out and started the season brilliantly. And then he ran 3rd on a dry Sha Tin to your best bet of the last race, Powerful Wings and Encountered. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that race previously to see how Powerful Wings and Encountered come back, because Two Shell could also frank that form even further in the next race. I love the fact that they've had 2 trials in the lead into this. I think he's going to be rock hard fit, ready to go first up. The second trial he wasn't tested at all. He was just given a little trot out the back, whereas the first one was a bit more. He was stretching out. I love the 1400 meter start, barrier 5. As I said, there's not that much speed on the inside, so I reckon he can get a pretty good midfield position. And I think he's one of another race where there's only a few chances outside of Two Shell, Golden Empire, maybe Ice Legend. But outside of that, it's very thin as well. So I've landed with Two Shell. I think he's quite a good bet here in race number 9.
Yes, number 8, Two Shell just had a great preparation after the summer break, and he is definitely a young and talented horse, having quite a good form last season, just like what you mentioned, Joshua. And Joe, what do you think? Do you like any new horses in this race?
Yeah, it's the one that Josh just mentioned, APAL. I took number 11. I'm banking on what happened last year with the Victorian horses coming to Hong Kong. We saw that with You're My Everything, who was really good, and he's going to be in the next race, but I'll mention that later. Yeah, APAL, I know that I think he's already climatized to Hong Kong. I mean, I know those barrier trials weren't that great, but he did look really good in Australia, not getting below a 4th, and he was up against some big fields too. So I think he's ready for Hong Kong, even though this isn't a relatively bigger field. Well, actually, no, it is a big field. It's a 14-horse field, but yeah, I mean, I think coming from the Metro at Sandown, he's gonna look okay here in this race. Maybe he just needs the run for the first time, but sometimes they run shockers on debut. I'm curious to see what the price is. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be really high. But there's this is another competitive race, because you have Golden Empire, who've been on before, who's won 2 in a row with he was with, I think Zach Purton was on him at one point, and then he ended up winning. Dynamic Spirit, Lightning Bolt, another one we've all been for. Tuchel, I think, was another one we all been for. But I think I'm gonna take a chance with APAL. I think he could run a bold race on debut. So number 11, APAL for me.
Yeah, number 11, APEL, I believe he is going to have some good price. I just checked that he is the most expensive yearling by more than ready sold in 2020. So I think that he should be a talent one. He's also a winner at Sandown before coming to Hong Kong. And this time, after arriving to Hong Kong, he is trained by last season's champion trainer, Frankie Law. That never underestimate this horse. And Steve, how about you? Who do you fancy in race 9?
I went for number 8, Golden Empire. It's a tough race. I really do think. I think the last three, sorry, number 7, should I say, Golden Empire. I think it's a very tough last 3 races. I think anything could really win this one. But he has a nice profile. He's got 3 wins from 8, and Ruin Maya has ridden him to his last 2 wins. I think Tuchel is interesting. John Si's yet to win. He's a habitual slow starter in the Hong Kong season. I thought Bundle of Charm may have got him off the mark. I didn't actually pick it in the end, but he had a chance there. And Drops of God went close, of course, but still waiting on that first winner. So be happy when that comes. And Tuchel obviously gives him a live chance. But I like Golden Empire. He won back-to-back last season, beating Oriental Smoke and then Royal Bomb. And he wasn't disgraced after that. 3rd to Super 10, 2nd to Beauty Live. And his final start in June was over the 1600, 5th to 2.5 lengths behind Super Oasis. So dropping back to the 1400 will help. Ruin Maya gets on well with him. And he'll do for me in what I think is a very difficult race.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I also like number 7, Golden Empire, in this race. It is good to see that Ruin Maya we unite with this horse again, because last season this horse scored 3 wins in Hong Kong, and 2 of them is with Ruin Maya on board. He is also quite a good jockey. And I just checked that Golden Emperor, the recent trial in Hong Kong, is really impressive, showing that he is now fit enough and ready for to start the new season. And his riding tactic is also quite dynamic. He can just stay in front or stay in the midfield, but I think that it is the best for him to stay in the midfield with cover, because he can show a good dash in the home straight. So I will also go for number 7, Golden Empire. So to recap, race 9, Joshua goes for number 8, Ducho, and Joe goes for the newcomer, number 11, APEL. Steve and myself agrees that number 7, Golden Empire, in race 9. And lastly, we are going to talk about race 10, that will be class 2 over 1200 meters. Joshua, who do you like in race 10?
Yeah, look, I ended up narrowing it down to Frankie Law's 2, which is Rewarding Together and Be Ready. I had a quick look through the map. Handsome Bobo should kick up from the inside. Easton's going to come flying across from the outside, but it's not a big run until that turn from the 1200 meter start. So Rewarding Together is also out there. So I have this strange feeling he may get posted wide here, because you've also got Winner Method, Be Ready, Majestic Star, and Rock Your Heart kicking out from the inside. So I landed with Be Ready. I think he's going to map a little bit better than his stablemate. And his preparation, his preparation to end last season, he ended up with 4 placings and a winner. He won at Happy Valley 2 back, which was quite nice, beating home 1 and 1 in Coney County. But I think the form that's going to really stand up, and this is why I landed with the Frankie Law pair, was the final run of the season behind Lucky Swayness. Well, I pronounce it Swayness. I don't know how you guys would pronounce it, but I'll go Lucky Swayness. Yeah. He ended the season with a 3rd behind Lucky Swayness, who we all saw how good he's come back this season. And I think that's going to be superior form to a lot of the others in this race. He's only had the 1 trial, which he dashed up the center of the track. It was quite an impressive trial. As I said, with Vincent Ho aboard, and I think the draw's just drawn me to him. I think Rewarding Together is the one I want to be with going forward. But I just have this strange feeling he's going to get posted wide. So I've landed with Be Ready, but it wouldn't surprise me if Rewarding Together can get a good run. I think he's just as big a winning chance as Be Ready. But I've landed with Be Ready from the draw. Very wary of his stablemate.
Yeah, so be ready. Number 7 in race 10. He is a two-time Happy Valley winner, but it was so impressive that last time out he also proved himself. He is also suitable to race at Sha Tin. So never underestimate him. And Joe, how about you? Who do you like in race 10?
Race 10 is really tough. This is the last leg of the treble, and in the treble you can get first or second. So I do have a value bet, or maybe I might have to flip-flop it depending on what happens. I went with number 9, Rock Your Heart. So now we have California Spangle. He was one of the horses that actually beat California Spangle when he wasn't in his great form now. He defeated him he caught him like at the very end. So I think and then after that he's had some pretty decent runs. He has had like only one bad run after that, and that was against Family Folks as a favorite. After that he was second to Flying Ace, who we've seen Flying Ace win so many races in a row, and then Texas Moon. So I think that if there is going to be a lot of speed, I think it's going to set up for all the back markers, I think, because a lot of them, well, the two that I picked are, and I think that if there is speed, that's what's going to happen. And a lot of them have an explosive turn of foot at the end. So the last race with Rock Your Heart with against Classic Unicorn, that was towards the end of the season, he got second and he almost won. So he's kind of a hanger. He'll get like seconds and thirds, but he does win. He does have the capability to win. And then remember, a lot of these horses are coming out of the 4-year-old Triple Crown series too, like I'm a Single Man, and I think what was another one? I think there's another one in this one as well, but like throughout the whole season. So we're trying to see how they go around as a 5-year-old. So I went with Rock Your Heart, and then I have a value bet as well later in this race.
Yeah, so Rock Your Heart, number 9 in race 10. I think that he's a very honest horse, always finishing close reasons last season. So he's quite an interesting runner in the field. And Steve, who do you like in race 10?
I went for number 4, Majestic Stars, a horse I really like. I'm hoping he can defy a 154-day absence. And he won back-to-back last season. He's a horse that's equally suited to the all-weather and the dirt. He won on the Sha Tin dirt, beating everyone's victory, and then did very well, won beating Keep You Warm after that in February. And off career high mark of 91, which he's on today. He ran quite well. He was back on the dirt, 1.5 lengths behind Duke Y. And then his final run back in April, it was a pretty dreadful draw he had. He was in gate 12, dropped to the rear, stayed on well under Jerry Chow, and he was 3.5 lengths behind Lucky With You, who obviously came out and won well on his seasonal return. So that's the horse for me. I like Majestic Star. He's 5 wins from 14. A nice horse. I think it's a very trappy race, though. I like the Fantastics as well. Fantastic Way, which was destined to be Joe Moreira's ride, of course. Poor Joe out for, well, the foreseeable future. Wagner Borges picks up that. And Fantastic Treasure, a nice horse, a good strike rate, 5 from 11, but actually he was 5 from 5. So he's actually gone nothing from 6 since, and he hasn't really shown the progression that I thought he might. I think it was quite disappointing last run behind Turin Red Sun, and this is probably a slight speed test, dropping back to 1,200 meters. Although I wouldn't write him off completely. Fantastic Treasure with first-time cheek pieces with Zach Burton on. We're all rewarding together, as Joshua says. A nice horse, admirably consistent, but gate 11 does ask a question or two. And You're My Everything. Well, he's done his winning at Happy Valley, but Angus Chung takes 10 off, and he'll be desperate to get a win for his tutor, really, Tony Cruz. But for me, I'm hoping that Majestic Star can win after roughly 5 months off.
Yes, there are lots of good sprinters in race 10, and trainer Danny Shum is sending 3 horses in this field, and while number 4 Majestic Star is his first choice. So I believe that he is making a good decision that sending this honest horse in this field. And for me, let me go for number 5. I Am a Single Man. Just like Joe mentioned, that I think that he performed not bad in the 4-year-old Classic Series last season, but I think obviously he prefers a shorter distance. So at the start of this this season, he just go down to 1,200 meters, which should be a better distance for him. And he just had a good barrier trial last week. He jumps really well. I believe that he is very fit now. So I'm a single man. Number 5 will be my selection in the last leg of the treble. So let me recap race 10. Joshua goes for number 7, Be Ready. And Joe goes for number 9, Rock Your Heart. Steve goes for number 4, Majestic Star. And I will go for number 5, I Am a Single Man. So after talking about the treble races, let us talk about our best bet and value bet. Joshua, who will be your best bet on Sunday?
I've gone to the race before the trebles, race number 7. I've gone with number 6, the Youthful Deal. Now, this race has, like the other ones that I've mentioned, there's very few that really appeal. I think I've already narrowed it down to about 4 horses. It's picking the right one. That's the challenge, obviously. But this race has no pace whatsoever. Joyful Champion will kick up, but outside of that, there's a chance that our pick Youthful Deal can settle just in behind and get the run of the race. I love the way that you have to ignore its first up run at Happy Valley. Too much went wrong. Having its first race start, was left wide without cover. Just put a line through it. Think of it as more of a barrier trial, I suppose. He then come out at Sha Tin on the 16th of July, ran a bottler, just missed by 3/4 of a length to Ice Legend, beat home Beauty Tycoon and Lucky Gore, who's come out and almost won at Happy Valley. Since Youthful Deals had a brilliant trial, 3.4 length trial win, hit the front in the straight. He had a nice stretch out there. He's a progressive horse. I think, as I said, with the lack of speed in this race, I think he's going to get the run of the race. Outside of Youthful Deals, Universal Horizon, Super Sunny Sing are the 2 main dangers to me. And I think Super Sunny Sing's going to get a similar run. But I'm banking on the beautiful hands of Zach Purton to get him home. And I know in Hong Kong you love backing jockeys race to race to race.
Yes.
And I've tipped Zach in races 7, 8, and 9. So that could be something special for punters who are Zach Purton lovers and love those race to race to race doubles and trebles. So Zach Purton and Youthful Deal in race number 7 for me.
Yes, Zach Purton gets a lot of good rides on Sunday. And of course, race 7, number 6, Youthful Deal. I agree that there is no speed in this field, so it may be quite favorable for him. Joe, who will be your best bet on Sunday?
Excuse me. My best bet is in number 6. That is number 3, Flying Season. I would say you throw the last 2 races out. Both of them were over the 1,200. He is a specialist on the straight course, and this is what it's going to be, a straight course race. Second, first, second in his last 4 races up the straight. So those are with Jerry Chow. He does get Sylvester D'Souza this time. And he ran second in his debut race at $41. And then after that, he got 2 wins in a row. And then I got a second against Run beaten favorite. So I think he'll run fresh. I think he'll run good. I do like Exosphere, who was a Golden Rose winner. So I do like that pedigree. We've seen Exosphere get defeated by Chautauqua in the Lightning Stakes at Flemington. So I think he's just a straight course specialist, and I think that this is going to be his race to lose. I don't think everything else looks okay in this race, but I'm going to land on Flying Season just because of those races up the straight. So Flying Season for me with Sylvester D'Souza, horse number 3, race number 6.
Yes, Flying Season, I think he is a course and distance specialist, and I'm quite looking forward to that because Sylvester D'Souza will be on board. He should be a good jockey for the horse. And Steve, who will be your best bet?
I went in the same race, actually, race number 6, and I went for number 9, Summit Cheers. Angus Chung did me a favour last week at Sha Tin, courtesy of Quadruple Double for my nap.
Yeah.
So just coincidence really that I've just liked the chance of this horse, Summit Cheers. Yes, to defy a 141-day absence, but he also won on debut, and so he's good fresh, and he's also got the Golden Highway. He's gate 14 on the outside rail, which seldom is a disadvantage. Yeah, I liked Flying Season's recent barrier trial when he was switched to the outside and just carved his way through some horses. Thought that was really nice. But I didn't think there was too many horses you could give a chance. But Adios was an interesting horse here, gate 6 with Matthew Chadwick on board. And he'll get a nice toe into the race, courtesy of Super Axiom, who'll probably go forward in the middle of the track in gate 1. Top weight is Metro Warrior with Zach Burton, but Metro Warrior just doesn't win often enough for me. And Joyful Win, I don't think has ever really shown his best here on the Shatton 1,000 meters. So for me, hopefully Summit Cheers can win. Nice low weight, 8 stone with Angus Chung's £10 claim off.
Yeah, the 10 pounds claim for Angus Chung is very useful, especially at the beginning of the season. So Summit Cheers will also break from a good draw for the strict race. I will also be looking forward to him. And for my best bet, I just mentioned that it will be in race 8. I quite like number 3, Powerful Wings. Actually, the main reason for me to select him as my best bet is because of Sylvester de Souza, because I really believe that he is a good jockey for such a lazy horse, such a back marker. And also for Powerful Wings, after adding the blinkers last season, he is becoming very consistent and he is now more and more mature after the summer break. So let me recap our best bet on Sunday. Race 7, number 6, Youthful Deal for Joshua, and race 6, number 3, Flying Season for Joe. Another race 6, number 9, Summit Cheers for Steve, and my best bet will be race 8, number 3, Powerful Wings. Yeah, so after talking about our best bet on Sunday, let us looking for some outsider. Joshua, who will be your value bet?
Yeah, as we discuss every week, it's hard to pinpoint a value bet where the prices aren't out yet. So, but I've gone with race 4, number 5, Turbo Power. This race has next to no speed as well, so he's drawn barrier 8. So I think he's going to get a chance to get just slightly better than midfield in this race. Vincent Ho is riding in terrific form. I think that stint in Japan's done him well. He had the 2 starts at the end of last preparation, at the end of last season. He ran 4th behind Lucky Dance and Chicken Dance, and then ran 3rd behind Chicken Dance and Proud Dragon. So I think that was quite good form. And then he started the season well. He ended up settling 12th out of barrier 12 in the 14-horse field, and he finished off really, really well. He ran the 5th quickest final 400 and 6th quickest final 200 of the race behind Amazing Victory. I think the run under his belt is going to do him wonders. As I said, barrier 8, he's not going to get as far back this time with the lack of speed. And I just think we might get a bit of a price about him in a race that is quite thin, in my opinion. So I think Turbo Power can run a big race with that run under his belt.
Yeah, a better draw for Turbo Power, number 5 in race 4. And right, we see Vincent Ho is having a good start of the season. He keeps winning every meeting. So hopefully he can keep the winning streak on Sunday. And Joe, how about you? Who will be your value bet?
Depending on which 2 it is, that's going to be the value bet. So if Rock Your Heart's the longer price, then that's the value bet.
Yeah, we can switch it.
Yeah, we could switch it because the last race, the value bet's going to be You're My Everything because he was in form in the last 2 races and won really well those last 2. Then you do get Angus Chung. Now this is going to be a big step up for him because he is going to class 2 now. And he is an all or nothing. He's either going to win or he's not going to win. He's not going to even place. So he's either going to win or he's not going to place at all. But as I said, like this is a really competitive race, I think, because it's a class 2 race and it's the last race on the card. So you could try to get a double up depending on with our selections in the treble to get a better payout. Trying to find something with value outside of anything that is a favorite. So You're My Everything. I went on him before on his debut and he won at 17-1. So that was really nice. So, and then after that, he wasn't in form. And then, but now you're getting no weight on his back and going up to class 2. I think this is it would be a step up, but I wouldn't surprise me if he won, but I really like him because of his last 2 races. And I think that would be, especially going up the class rating would be some kind of value there, I think. So You're My Everything is the value bet for me, race number 10, number 11.
Yes, number 11, you are my everything in race 10. I think we should also include him in our treble bets. This time some challenge for him, just like Joe mentioned, stepping up to class 2 and then also making the shouting debut. But what's his advantage? That will be Angus Jones get a lightweight and also a good draw breaking from gate 4. He can stay in a great position. So good chance for him. And Steve, can you tell us who will be your value bet?
Yeah, I went to race number 5, and that was number 7, All Is Good. He's had 5 runs. He's shaped nicely in all those runs. And there's almost like some timeshare between Luke Ferraris and Zach Purton. They sort of take turns. The last the 3 back and 2 back, it was Luke Ferraris on the horse, and then last time it was Zach Purton. He was a beaten favourite then, and beaten by Singapore Spirit. He's finished 4th on his last 3 starts, and his recent trials have been under Zach Purton, but that doesn't really concern me too much. I think sometimes you can get obsessed with where jockeys are going, and at the end of the day, it's the fastest horse that wins. Zach Purton moves to Happy Daily, who was so unlucky on his reappearance, but he's now got gate 12, which isn't the end of the world, because he can be dropped in, and Karas Teton won on the horse really nicely last season from gate 13. So you can also get obsessed with barriers. So Zach Purton, there's a chance there. But I just think All Is Good, interesting horse. Luke Ferraris on board, gate 2, unexposed, and hopefully get some nice value in race number 5. All Is Good.
Yes, right. Happy Daily get a tough draw, gate 12 in race 5. And number 7, Always Good, breaking from gate 2, which is very ideal for him. Last season, he tried 1400 meters for several times. He performed quite well. And I think that after the summer holiday, he is now more mature. He improved a lot as shown in the barrier trial. So good chance for him. And for my value bet, it will be in the opener. I like number 2, Wood Fire Bro. I think that in the season open day, he just had a good first up run over the turf track, and because he stayed wide without cover, and also in the home stretch in the final furlong, he didn't have a clear one. However, he could still manage to finish 4th behind Eternal Bloom, 2 lengths beaten, and I think that it is quite a good run for him, because that a really bad position for him for the whole trip. And this time moving to the all-weather track, I think he should also handle it. He has good third pedigree, and also he had quite good all-weather barrier trial before. Breaking from gate 5 this time with Derek Long on board again, he can stay in a good position, I think, because there are not many fast horses in the opener. So gate 5 will be also quite good for Wood Fibro. So after a good warm-up one 2 weeks ago, I believe that he is going to improve again, and I think he should have some good result in race 1. So let me recap the best value bet for us. Race 4, number 5, Turbo Power for Joshua, and race 10, number 11, You Are My Everything for Joe. Race 5, number 7, All Is Good for Steve, and race 1, number 2, Wood Fire Bro for me. So that's all for our preview this time. I hope that we can find you some winner, and see you next time for the Happy Valley preview. See you. Bye.